Welcome to Sunset News on the 22nd day of the second month of 2022. I am Ashwin Berry. Now, early this morning, it was 22 minutes past 2 on the 22nd day of the second month in 2022. Indeed, a very special occurrence that can never be repeated. Now, first in the news tonight. Fears that the pilchard population might collapse entirely are once again ripe. The Namibia Chamber of Environment, an umbrella body representing 72 non-governmental environmental organizations, warns that despite a just-lapsed 3-year pilchard fishing moratorium, the species has, for all intents and purposes, totally collapsed. The Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Derek Claassen, also voiced his concern on this subject during his annual address to the industry last year. Claassen is expected to pronounce his position on the future of Namibia's pilchard fisheries sometime this year. Now in our next story, SWAPO Party Youth League Secretary Ephraim Nekongo has vehemently denied claims that they were instigated to protest the fish rot arrests through a letter sent from prison by former Justice Minister Saki Shangala. During court proceedings on Monday morning, ACC-led lead investigator Andreas Kanyangela said Shangala had already proven that he would interfere with the case if released on bail, as he had written to the Youth League to go against the ACC. Now, the finalization of a settlement related to an alleged multi-million contract breach by the Keetmanshoop municipality for the installation of 1,000 prepaid water meters has stalled following the expulsion of 3 town councillors. The settlement talks arose after Netvent Metering Solutions CC sued the municipality in July last year for the alleged breach of a 4.3 million Namibian dollar contract signed in 2020 for the installation of 1,000 prepaid water meters at the town. In January this year, the two parties informed the court that they had started settlement talks. Next up, farmers of the Witflay Sea-Ice Omitara area were mobilized on Monday afternoon to help search for alleged cattle thieves who made a U-turn on the B1 road near Sea-Ice to avoid going through a roadblock that was set up by the Sea-Ice police. They fled in a silver Polo on the D1535 and after about 20 kilometers turned onto a small farm road, stopped and fled on foot. One of the 3 suspects, a 24-year-old man, was arrested while the other 2 got away. Commissioner Ismail Basson, head of police in the Khomas region, told Sunset News they are known to the police and will be apprehended soon. The full carcass of a bull was found in the vehicle, which belongs to a car rental company in Windhoek. Now, Nampo Regional Commander for Khomas, Commissioner Ismail Basson and fellow members of the force were the Deputy Levi Ileka of the Windhoek City Police and at the Windhoek Police Station, they were at the Windhoek Police Station this morning where they showed off the evidence collected from a major drug bust made on Friday. Algeto Greg reports.
Yes.
Brother. How are you?
These are the different. No, they will see some of them getting out. How are you? Right. This is 7,000. Yes. Again, as we reported over the weekend, the 4 suspects that were arrested in possession of Dacha. This is the amount of Dacha, 8,425 is the weight of the Dacha.
Now, heavy rainfall in many parts of the country, especially the west and northwestern parts of Namibia, have transformed dry riverbeds into raging waterways. The most recent victim was a 4x4 vehicle in a river about 15 kilometers from Epupa. The rule of thumb, if you are not brave enough to walk through the river, then do not attempt to drive through it. Those have been our top stories on Sunset News. It's one thing to live in a community. It's another thing to know what transpires within it. So stick around for Community Talk after the break.
AgriMonitor is 'n weeklikse landbouprogram met nuus oor lewende hawe, akkerbou, houtskoolproduksie, ander boerderybedrywighede in die land. Ons gehoor is boere, agribesighede en finansiële instellings wat dienste aan landbouers lewer. AgriMonitor word uitgesaai op NTV, die aanlyn stromingskanaal 1up2 en op die Facebook-blaaie van Republikein, Namibia Media Holdings en AgriMonitor. 'n Nuusgesprek laat ons die soeklig op landbouaktualiteit skyn. In plaas te bring ons besoeke aan ons land se voorste boere, ons verskaf weekliks 'n dagboek van veilinghuise se naderende veilings, ons hou self ook dagboek van belangrike events in die landbouwêreld en ons deel dit met julle en ons gee 'n oorsig van die heersende vleispryse. Kontak gerus vir Anoushka de Tooy met jou advertensie navraag by 081 700 9848 of stuur 'n e-pos aan Anoushka by nmh.com.na en Anoushka spel 'n mens ANOESGA of kontak vir Ronel Rademeier oor nuus en boerdery sake by 0811 278159 of stuur 'n e-pos aan Ronel gespel RONELLE by republikein.com.na.
Thank you for staying with Sunset News. It's time for your community talk. Now, our colleague from the coast, Erwin Leuschner, submitted this clip of a rather unusual sighting in the Brandberg area.
Now, this is not something you see every day, or probably will again, says our correspondent from the Erongo region, Erwin Leuschner. He said he spotted hundreds of yellow-billed kites close to the Brandberg mountain in Damaraland this weekend, where they were feasting on termites. The termites were swarming due to the recent good rains the area received. Yellow-billed kites, also known as rainbirds amongst the locals, usually appear in big flocks after good rains. Erwin says that while the kites were catching and eating the termites from the air, never even touching the ground, at the same time absent storks were picking up termites from the ground. These storks are commonly spotted in the Etosha National Park, not in the vicinity of Brandberg, according to the locals. Erwin says that's not all though. He says due to the good rains in the area, a literal army of army worms has emerged. These worms were seen for an area covering at least 20 kilometers along the road between Ois and Korigas. The worms will most likely destroy a large area of grass. Erwin was quick to add that he didn't see any of the birds feasting on these worms though, so they must be very picky.
Well, as long as they are far away from the crops. Now, in our story of the day, we'll be talking about the launch of Namibia's first green hydrogen production plant. Stay with us. This is Sunset News, and this is your story of the day. The Old Harbor and List Group, together with CMB Tech, launched Namibia's first green hydrogen production plant. Construction will start in 2022, with the aim of being operational by the end of 2023. Executive Chairman of the ONL, Sven Timmer, and James Newper, Presidential Economic Advisor and Hydrogen Commissioner, spoke during the launch on Tuesday.
One of the biggest concerns of our time that will directly affect the quality of the future we create is climate change. The world is in a race to limit global warming and reach net zero emissions by 2050. in accordance with the United Nations Global Roadmap and one of the key shifts required to ensure a sustainable future includes the transition to clean energy solutions. While the move away from fossil fuels may take several paths, green hydrogen is one that shows tremendous potential in getting us there. Namibia is a growing hub when it comes to the generation of renewable energy, whether that be through solar, wind, or hydroelectric power. With Namibia's capacity to generate solar power in particular, the country has the potential to be at the forefront of green hydrogen development and progress towards greater energy independence. It is with this encouraging prospect that we will have established and now officially launch Cleanergy Namibia, a company designed to explore green hydrogen generation through the country's first hydrogen demonstration plant, an investment worth about $18 million or approximately 300 million Namibian dollar to be set up and operational in 2023. The hydrogen produced with the demonstration plant will go towards local use and the development of local applications. The demonstration plant could prove to be the first step in creating an entirely new industry in Namibia, in addition to enabling knowledge transfer into our country, upskilling opportunities, creating employment, driving further research, including collaboration with the University of Namibia, and developing future offtake opportunities in sectors such as transportation, mining, heavy machinery, and power generation.
Namibia is moving afoot and in line and in sync with global players, and this is what we just came back from Europe to sign to. Okay, we're going to sign an MOU with the European Union, and we'll announce that at COP27, showing how Namibia will begin to move in tandem with the rest of the world to build this new industry. These activities are attracting capital into our economy today, not in 5 or 10 years' time, but today. In fact, Namibians are now exporting their skills and knowledge into other parts of Africa. I thought this was amazing. The government is actually trying to ensure that Namibia gets energy security, because energy security is the backbone of any major push for industrialization, which typically increases income and consumption. Energy security enhances economic growth. Meanwhile, energy insecurity, measured by energy intensity and carbon intensity, has a negative impact on economic growth. Namibia is a net importer of energy and a major victim of climate change, yet it sits with extremely large renewable energy endowments. So as we researched possible new engines of growth for Namibia in the late 2020, we noted that there's a systemic global push towards a just energy transition, and that Namibia was extremely strategically well placed to benefit from this windfall.
Now, Trustco has not had a fantastic 2 weeks, especially on the JSE. We'll be talking about that in our economic news after the break.
Join the club, the Infinity Club with Paratus, and jump into a world of limitless connectivity. For only $599 per month excluding VAT, the new LTE Infinity Lite package that includes a Wingle will overcome all limitations. Visit paratus.africa/NA for more information.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Let's get into this evening's economic news. Should the JSE suspend the listing of Trustco Group Holdings shares on the South African Stock Exchange, the Namibian-based company will suffer incalculable damage, which will likely devastate Trustco entirely and irreparably. This statement by Rian Bruins, internal legal advisor of Trustco, is contained in an affidavit as part of an application the group on Friday filed and lodged with the Financial Services Tribunal in South Africa for reconsideration of the JSE JSE suspension decision. The JSE on 14 February 2022 gave Trustco until 3 p.m. on Friday to initiate and deliver legal proceedings against its decision. Now, following Trustco's application, the JSE suspended the implementation of its decision until 3 p.m. on 11 March 2022. If the group fails to obtain the appropriate relief by then, the JSE will immediately implement its suspension decision without further notice to Trustco. Now, the pace of economic recovery will depend on factors outside the central bank's control, such as improved sovereign debt sustainability, structural reforms, accelerating growth and recovery strategy, as well as strong private sector, domestic and foreign investments, and risk-taking. By doing so, Namibia will be able to overcome supply-side constraints, improve productivity, boost growth, and create employment opportunities. According to the Bank of Namibia Governor Johannes Kawahaba, the central bank stands ready to provide support to the economy, ostensibly within the scope of its mandate, in order to place the Namibian economy on a sound and sustainable growth path. The core mandate of the bank, which is ensuring price and financial stability, are important for maintaining purchasing power, containing the cost of living and of doing business, and supporting Namibia's competitiveness while creating certainty and confidence. Let's have a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar is up against the British pound and the US dollar, but down against the euro, and it stayed the same level against the Chinese yuan. On the NSX, Capricorn stock is down with 0.10%. Now, although Trustco stock is up, the local as well as the overall index is down. Gold is down while all the other commodities are up. This is still Sunset News. After the break, your weather.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, welcome to another exciting edition.
Now, as vindicers and Namibians alike are wondering whether the rain will be back or not, let's have a look at the forecast. Katima is the hottest and Gobabis is the coolest in the northern and eastern parts of Namibia. Mariento and Ariamsvlei are the warmest in the south at 38 degrees. Now, in our international news, we'll be looking at a chess champion. Stay with us. let's get into your international news. India's teenage chess grandmaster Ramesh Babu Pragnandaha has won praise for a stunning victory over world number 1 Magnus Carlsen in an online championship. Pragnandaha, 16, who in 2016 became the youngest international master in history at the age of 10, beat Carlsen late on Monday at the Airthings Masters Rapid Chess Tournament. It's about time to go to bed, as I don't think I will have dinner at 2:30 in the morning, a visibly calm Pragnandaha said after the 39-move victory playing black. Indian cricket superstar Sachin Tendulkar joined in the praise for Chennai-born Pragnandaha, widely regarded as a future world title challenger. What a wonderful feeling it must be for Prag, all of 16, and to have beaten and experienced and decorated Magnus Carlsen, and that too while playing black, is magical, Tendulkar wrote on Twitter. Best wishes on a long and successful chess career ahead. You've made India proud. On Monday, Carlsen had said he was still feeling the after effects of a recent coronavirus infection. It was better today, but the first couple of days, I was feeling like I am okay, but I don't have any energy, and it was kind of hard to focus. Carlsen said he won his 5th straight that's what Carlsen said. Now, Carlsen won his 5th straight world chess title in December, overcoming Ian Nepomniachtchi in a contest that saw the Russian lose his nerve after losing an epic 8-hour game, the longest ever played at a world championship. The teenager's victory follows an underwhelming performance in the tournament so far, where his previous victory came in the 8th round over Grandmaster Levon Aronian. The fluctuation can be worrying and needs to be stabilized. This win against Magnus is important. Beating one of the strongest players in chess history is a huge moment for him. A truly, truly brilliant young lad. Your sports news after the break.
We know that violence against women and girls is pervasive everywhere in the world. So now imagine a conflict breaks out, or a natural disaster happens, or a global pandemic like the one we have seen since 2020 breaks out. Institutions are often focused on addressing this crisis. And in conflict settings, some of the institutions that are responsible for protecting women's rights collapse. The United Nations and UN Women work around the world to address some of these challenges. We make sure that women and girls who are victims of violence access services, including justice, health, psychosocial support, and reintegration. We also work to address the root causes that generate violence, for example, addressing harmful social norms and masculinities.
Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Let's get into your sport. A win in today's final round qualifier for the 2022 Africa Women's Cup of Nations against Zambia could mark a significant turning point for Namibian women's football, as the country's brave gladiators will be fighting to secure a spot at the continental competition. The match kicked off at 3 p.m. All the best, ladies. Now, Brave Warriors striker Aubrey Amseb's purple patch continued as he scored 2 goals for his new club Masitaoka in their 2-1 victory over Extension Gunners in the Botswana Premier League at the Royal Ari Stadium on Sunday. Amseb struck on the 26th and 87th minutes to lead his team to their first victory in 5 matches. The Namibia Bowling Association over the past weekend held its trials to select a national team, as well as players that will represent the country at the 2022 Commonwealth Games slated for Birmingham, England. The selected teams will travel to Cape Town, South Africa over the Easter weekend to participate in the Western Province Bowls tournament. This has been Sunset News. Thank you for sticking around for the last 30 minutes. After the break, your highlights.
Join the club, the Infinity Club with Paratus, and jump into a world of limitless connectivity. For only $599 per month excluding VAT, the new LTE Infinity Lite package that includes a Wingle will overcome all limitations. Visit paratus.africa/NA for more information.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Now, if you're still kicking off your shoes after work, worry not. Here are the highlights from today's top stories. Fears that the pilchard population might collapse entirely are once again ripe. The Namibia Chamber of Environment, an umbrella body representing 72 non-governmental environmental organizations, warns that despite a just lapsed 3-year pilchard fishing moratorium, the species has, for all intents and purposes, totally collapsed. SWAPO Party Youth League Secretary Ephraim Nekongo has vehemently denied claims that they were instigated to protest the fish rot arrest through a letter sent from prison by former Justice Minister Saki Shangala. Farmers of the Witvlei Sea Ice or Mitara area were mobilized on Monday afternoon to help search for alleged cattle thieves who made a U-turn on the B1 road near Sea Ice to avoid going through a roadblock that was set up by the Sea Ice police. One of the 3 suspects, a 24-year-old man, was arrested while the other 2 got away. And with that, we've come to the end of the show. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook and all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 to 8. My name is Ashwin Mbedi, and remember, you should not be ending your day without us.